And welcome to Friends Like Us. I'm Marina Franklin with,
Evelyn Frick.
and we're here for you, Evelyn. We are going to miss you if you don't know. We do this, first of all, we have been doing this for,
I think
was it 3 years?
2 or 3 years now. It's crazy how time has
Wow.
flown.
Crazy. How much time has flown. And I met you, Evelyn, like at right before the pandemic started.
Yeah.
And like you're like my it's like you're my for lack of a better, you're my pandemic baby. Because
That's
it
awesome.
was like we were in studio for like just a short while,
Yeah.
and then everything shut down. And then, but you were so helpful and you were just amazing. Like I remember when you showed up, you were like this little kid. Like I could see it, like how young you were when you walked in, and I was like, look at this little kid. She's so cute, and you were smart and you were polite and just very like one of my best. I have a few bests of the best, and you're one of the best.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah.
now I know that you gotta leave, but we'll miss you. But
Yeah. I've loved doing this specific stream the last like however many years. And yeah, even before that, it's crazy. Yeah. I was like a few months out of college, and just wanting to like do stuff with New York comedy. Um, And yeah, Friends Like Us has been like such like a home base for me throughout all of that, and was like really excited, even as like awful as the pandemic was, to like help figure out like how to record outside of a studio and like keep the podcast going. And now it's like stronger than ever, which is so incredible. So yeah, it's been like a really great few 2, 3, 4, however many years it's been. And yeah, now I'm excited. Hello, DJ Eric Prince. It's so good to see you. Yeah, and now like I think in this next like chapter of my life, I really have been like struggling to like find time to like write my own stand up and perform a lot more. So I'm really excited to like really hone in on that.
it's important. You gotta like prioritize. You gotta know um what's important for you, and it's a lot going on right now. So
Yeah.
you gotta. I agree. Like I have a hard time, like sort of like I want to do everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really gotta focus in on, especially at the early stages of stand up.
Yeah.
You really do have to focus in on what it is you need to get done specifically. Like you said, the craft, the actual jokes, right?
Yeah, for sure. And like, yeah, I feel like over the last probably like the last year, I've been focusing more on like satire writing, like writing for Reductress, and now I'm a contributor for The Onion, which is like really great. And I feel like that's helped me like find my voice, just like purely like writing for writing. But yeah, now I'm excited to try to translate that into performance more, which is yeah, it's great. And yeah, like you said, I think I just really need to like sit down and um, figure out like what I want to do and things that I want to say, which is it'll obviously be challenging and hard and a process, but like really excited to do that.
And we're always here for you if you ever want to come back and just visit us.
Oh my god, yes, I would absolutely love that. I feel like now I'm gonna be like I have too much time on Saturdays.
Well, I've also been like, the Saturdays that we didn't record, I got so much done that I was like, oh, I
Mhm.
need Saturdays. So I'm even going to like reduce the amount of time until, I get things in place, so.
Totally.
But it's also like there's always the podcast, everybody. That's every
Yeah.
week.
Oh, for sure. I
So,
mean, I will always listen to the podcast for sure.
and I remember when your referral called in, when they called in to just get a reference check on you,
Oh, yeah.
and the fun conversation I had with them, and I was just thinking like, yeah, this is why, as like, just to put this out there for anyone who's out there and watching this is why you do sort of want to take on jobs like this sometimes. You just never, ever know.
Yeah.
You never know where the connections are going to go and how it's going to help you. And I remember that interview and them asking me about you. And I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. She's great. And then I remember she was like, my husband's like a super fan of yours. And I was like, what?
I know, it's
Bringing
so
it back to
funny.
me.
Yeah, it's been funny now because that's my like day job boss, Molly, and like yeah, like her husband Joe, he knows comedy really well. And I remember she said that to me too. She was like, "It's crazy that like you worked with Marina Franklin."
Yeah, you just never. I need people.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you were brought to me by, I believe, Shannon, who I still talk to, who still
Yeah,
does. You'll see her in the stand-up scene, and she still calls me to this day. I've known Shannon now for almost, geez, like 9 years, it feels
yeah,
like. And Shannon has grown so much. Like everyone who comes on the podcast and works with me, they are like my children. They're my nurturing, like I'm nurturing and I'm watching them grow. And I see them on Instagram. I see everything they're doing. And it's great. It's, it's, uh,
yeah.
it's, it's a, you have a lot of responsibility as an employer to be a good employer. I'll say that. So that you leave some, you have some relationships with the people you work with that can like sustain itself. So what
Yeah,
would you say was before the Juskow joins us, like
yeah.
you look back at the live, like what were some of the fun things about doing the live? Because I know we didn't have time to compile a looking back on.
I know, retrospective. It's such a good question. I loved, well, I mean, every single time you've kicked Juskow out, um, is a great memory for me. I mean, I've always like also loved like having like other guests on, like Noye, like Vanessa, like it's always so fun to talk. Yamanika, like it's always been really great. I don't know. I feel very fond about like the first few lives that we did, just like trying to figure out what this was and like how melon works, which I think we still don't really
Yeah,
know.
Melon is crazy. Melon
Uh,
is the one platform that hasn't, I don't know, it's just not working with the Wi-Fis, the different Wi-Fis, I should say.
yeah, no, for sure. But we make it work. What else? Oh, I mean, I also like I feel like the lives were like the first place that I would hear you like talk about kind of like your Karen stories and then like seeing that translate into your stand up is like so cool and so interesting to see like how that like seed kind of came to fruition.
Now, as a comedian, do you do that yourself, or have you found like how do you think you're going to what's your writing process since
That's
you're
a
starting
good
out?
question. Yeah, I mean, that actually kind of is similar to like I think a lot of ideas that I have for jokes or for bits just come out of like conversations that I have with my friends, with like my partner. It's really funny. My partner Sophie, like she is like so funny, and like we've recently started writing together. I
Oh,
think I'm
nice.
definitely like she's like not in comedy. She works in like green energy. But she's like one of the funniest people I know. So like
I
for
remember her
me,
energy. She was funny.
yeah, she's just like such a weird, funny person. It's like she grew up in a really large family. And so like she's told me like when you have like a large family, you kind of like have to be quick on your feet and like to like be able to like get anyone to like listen to you or like hear you. So just like bouncing jokes and ideas off of people is really like how my process works. I've never really been good at writing alone. So yeah, I think that's probably where it's going to come from. And also like I recognize that like I'm 25, 26 now. Like
Wow, you're so young.
yeah, I'm so young, and like part of like finding your voice as a comedian, I know, is like just living and like doing things. And because like no one like really wants to hear what like someone like in their mid-20s thinks about like life because they haven't really lived it yet,
Yeah,
or
they
not
do. Well,
fully.
actually, I think so. I find it interesting what a 26-year-old is
Mm,
thinking today, especially
yeah.
because I find that 26-year-olds have more, they're not jaded,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they believe that there is good that
Yeah.
can come from the future if we work on it. And I have noticed that from some younger comedians lately. Like, I like listening to them because they have some ideas that I don't like know because I'm older and I've been around, and I may be even partly jaded, you know. So it's
Yeah,
nice to hear from a different generation.
for sure. Yeah, I think I think I'm not quite jaded yet, but I'm getting there. So yeah, I don't know. Like I think just really like I think for me, I'm very much like an introverted person, kind of like a homebody. So I think part of this process for me too will also just be like pushing myself to like really get out there and like actually do it.
And that's what I've seen too. When I first met you, you seemed shy.
Hmm.
And now you're just like, you're not shy at all. You're taking control. You're out there. You're saying what it is you want to say. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's funny. I also remember like when you opened for Jim Gaffigan at Radio City, like afterwards, like I was
Oh,
able,
that's
my partner and I were able to go backstage, and I remember Sophie telling me later, like Marina was just enjoying watching you like try to like talk to Jim Gaffigan, and like how like quiet and like reserved I was. And yeah, even like that was what like a year and a half ago now, and I feel like even since then, like I
oh yeah.
feel like a different person.
Oh yeah. You're owning it.
Yeah,
You
you
own
have
it,
to.
girl.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. Yeah, I just think you like you have to if you like want anybody to listen to you.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Especially today in this world. Let me look at some of they're all saying this is Evelyn just starting to conquer the world.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Oh, where did I put? Did I? What a My mouse is like too close to my hand. I may accidentally hang up. Scooby Doofus.
Oh, we haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, aren't you gonna miss names like Scooby Doofus?
I think that will just live in a part of my brain forever. I will never forget the name Scooby Doofus.
Scooby Doofus. Yeah, we know we're freezing, Eric. With nothing we can do about it. It's not freezing as much though, and I think it's because I lowered the video quality or something. I did do that before.
Okay.
Sometimes that works.
Yeah, it
Like
does
just
too.
the lowering the resolution rate. I think there is someone in the wings now for Marina. No, there is no one. No one can replace you, Evelyn.
Aw, thanks.
That's what they're saying. They're like, so how will Evelyn be replaced? Will Marina search for a new Evelyn, or will Evelyn be allowed to recommend her own replacement? Oh, that's an idea.
That's a good question. Yeah, I'd have to think about who I know. I mean, it's like funny, like when I would recommend like over the last few years, like new people to work at Friends Like Us, I was like closer to like college age people, and now like I'm not so much. But yeah, I can think on it. That's a good point, Robin.
And Eric is saying everyone has their bias. You become jaded after 45. Yeah, it becomes like the same. Um, oh, and Sweden is here. Sweden, you didn't miss anything. Okay, Robin, nothing because we haven't been here.
Yeah,
We've been on vacay.
yeah,
We took a break. And we'll I have to talk to Juskow, but we will be doing this probably like maybe more like once a month, not every weekend, just because the world is really opening faster than I thought, and like so a lot of things that I kind of put off because I was being so safe is
yeah.
catching up on me. So I gotta work.
Yeah, like how is it different now that the WGA strike is over?
Well, now we are going back out with the show that I
Oh, that's great.
have, which is great, and I cannot wait. So but that's also like difficult because the actor strike is still going.
Right.
So things have opened up as far as the Writers Guild. It just seems like we're never leaving this pandemic in some kind of odd way. There's always
Yeah.
something like keeping us from knowing what the future of entertainment is going to be.
Yeah.
But everyone is excited. The agents are all excited about my show. So we're
Great.
ready to go. We're
That's
ready to
amazing.
go. And that's all I could hope for. I know that I've just been doing more stand up. I've been getting on the road more. I did a show for cancer prevention. It's called Silent Spring. It's more of like a corporate event where they wanted me to just host it. And that was fun. I went to Boston and learned so much about these products. Did you know that a lot of these organizations that try to help you with the products you buy to let you know what's
Mhm.
in them, they get a lot of pushback from the companies.
Oh, yeah. I could imagine they would.
So they can't list the actual products.
Oh, wow.
They can't say to you like, "Hey, uh that ivory soap that you're using," not to say, I'm not saying, but if, it were ivory soap, if ivory soap has these things in it, you can't use it. They can't
Mm.
do that. They
Oh,
can
wow.
only tell you that these are the items or the ingredients that can cause cancer. So that was a really good event that I did.
That's great.
I've been hustling a lot too to try to get out
Yeah.
there.
I've
Oh,
noticed. Yeah.
it's exhausting.
I was just gonna say it seems really tiring.
What have you been doing on our break on these
That's a good
Saturdays?
question. Well, so last week it was I hosted a show in Chicago.
What?
Yeah, it was really fun. It was through my job. Like because my work, they know that like I'm a writer and like a comedy writer and do stuff. They've like started having me host shows with like Jewish comics, and thus far they've all been in New York. But like a few months ago, they're like, "Would you want to do a show?" Like, and they suggested Chicago, and I was like, "Oh, of course! Like, I love Chicago. That sounds really fun." So yeah, I was at it's this really cool like new venue called the Color Club
Oh,
in Chicago. It's like in Irving Park. So like a little bit out of the way, but it's still like really fun and really cool. Yeah, and I had a lot of really great comics. Unji Kim was on the lineup. Two of my friends from New York who just happened to be in Chicago, who are I think really great up and coming comics, Michael Aber and Claire Olshansky, were on the show. And yeah, it was really fun. We won't get into this, but like it's obviously a very like difficult time for a lot of people right now, including the Jewish community. So it felt really nice to like have just like levity and like being in community with other people. Um, and yeah, so like that was really fun. I was out there for like the first 2 days. I was out there prepping for the show, and it went super well. I think like capacity of the Color Club is maybe like 60 people, so like a good like small mid-sized venue. And it was packed, which was really lovely. And then I was there for another few days, and I just spent a lot of time with my sister, which is
aw.
great. Yeah, it was really nice to see her. She got her MFA from the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and now she's living out there doing her art thing. So yeah, it was really great to see her. So yeah, that's kind of been like the last two-ish weeks. I was kind of like prepping for that show and then doing it. Gosh, I honestly can't even remember what I was doing those 2 weeks before that. It was really kind of a whirlwind this fall has been.
Chicago has great audiences. They're very appreciative of comedy.
They really are. It's like, yeah, I think like I don't know, like there are a lot of really great venues in Chicago. Like when I was there, I also like checked out the Lincoln Lodge, which is like
Oh,
a really
yes.
cool, fun space. But like
There's a
they're just like,
mafia spot too.
oh really?
I forget where it is. It's one of the spots I did when I was preparing for my hour, but it's like where Capone used to hang out.
Oh, is it the Green Mill?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Thank
love the
you.
Green Mill. It's yeah, there are a lot of really, really cool venues, but I think like people associate like New York and like LA as being more comedy places. So at least I think like people that I know think that way. So I don't know, it's just really fun and exciting to see that like comedy is like thriving in Chicago
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And
And
they're great crowds.
and the theater is wonderful in Chicago. You know who he will never I just cannot wait to hopefully I meet him someday again. Nick Offerman, when
Oh,
I went to University of Illinois, actually taught me how to do stage combat.
oh really?
Yeah, he probably doesn't remember. I'm trying to show my pumpkin. Here.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but yeah, Nick Offerman, we did a play called The Tragedy of Coriolanus, a
Oh,
Shakespeare play that is rarely done. The
mm,
Tragedy of Coriolanus, and it's one of the most politically like of all of Shakespeare's plays.
mm.
And so we learned how to like do slow motion combat. Like he showed us how to like and then move fast. It was so much fun. You know,
That's
I
really
I
fun.
don't think I had any lines. I think I was just so excited just to be in a production at the time.
Yeah,
But
for
I
sure.
I do remember how funny he was even then
Yeah.
and how cool he was.
Chicago's produced so many like incredible comics. I think some of my favorite comics, to be honest, yeah, like Nick Offerman um, is so cool. And yeah, like one of my a really good friend of mine who's a writer for The Onion, and before that was a writer on Conan's last season. His name is Skylar Higley. He's really great, and it was
Wow.
really fun to catch up with him and hear what he's been up to. Because I think like I don't know, I'm biased because I'm his friend, but he's like really really talented, and I think he's going places. So
I've
yeah,
heard his name, yes.
yeah, he. I remember like I told you that, or when I told him that like I like work with you and stuff. He was like, oh yeah, like I think he like maybe was like, oh, I think I maybe from Marina at one point or something. Like she was like so nice to me and like as a young comic, like that like really made me feel good. Um, yeah, so that was also like another thing you were talking about earlier, like connections you have with people you never know. It's like I didn't even like it wasn't even talking to him about like I don't know, like work or whatever. We're just talking about comedy. And he was like, oh yeah, like I love Marina.
And Alex Edelman.
I know. Yeah, he's definitely going places too.
Jeez. And he's been such a good guy lately. All right,
He's been
now we're gonna bring on the man, the myth. I don't know why I never give us an applause. Let's give Evelyn applause, everybody. Evelyn! Woo, 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 woo. Oh, wait. All
That's so
right,
funny.
now we're gonna bring on the man, the myth, not a legend, David Juskow, everybody.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Nice to see everybody.
Nice to see
Hello, nice to
you.
see you, Evelyn. This is Evelyn's last show. Do you have any
I know.
memories, some loving memories that you can be polite about?
Not one.
Of course not.
Yeah, I have same, same. Right back at you, just go.
Look, he's trying to maintain it. He can't. Let it go. Come on, Dave.
Let what go?
Oh, you're awful. You know what, Tamara? I saw Tamara at the farmer's market and she's like, yeah, what is Juskow gonna say? Like the way they talk about you is like they know you. And
Who's
they do.
Tamara?
Tamara. Tamara Payne. Tamara, who's, I used to go to the farmer's market. She's been on our live.
I don't know.
Where are you right now?
Where are you? Are you in Alaska?
No, I'm in New Jersey.
It looks like Alaska.
No, I just worked with Nanye last night.
I know. Noye. It's Noye.
No, it's not.
Yes, it's
Yeah, no, I
Noye. You
guess.
don't pronounce the
Noye.
N. How did
Oh,
that
you don't
go?
pronounce the N? Oh, I must have called her Nanye 100 times.
How did it go?
Well, not it wasn't great, but it's not her fault.
Oh,
There
okay.
was some old douchebag there that made it awful. Otherwise, it was super fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in a
Yeah, she
trailer
was
park.
excited. And yeah, they think you're in a trailer park.
It does look like that in the back. There's an old shed back there. It does look like a trailer park. I'm staying here because I'm going to Victoria's tonight down the shore. Vic Henley's ex-wife.
Oh yeah, Victoria. I was trying to think of a song, but it was the wrong song. I was about to go Gloria, but that's not the song.
Gloria, you've been da 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 da. Do do do. I kind of wish I could remember the lyrics. That was
Calling
Gloria.
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 I bet you think you're something. We should be singing Evelyn. Evelyn. We're gonna really miss you.
Laura
Evelyn.
Branigan, is that her name?
Who?
Laura Branigan. She's the one that did that song. Never to be heard from again.
There's Victoria owns the trailer park. And that you're in.
No, they moved to Asbury Park, so they're having a Halloween party.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
They asked me to move into the building. They said it's a brand new building in Asbury Park. It was something I was thinking about doing, but I finally realized. Remember, I keep threatening to leave town, which I'm sure nobody has a problem with. And I realize now the only way I can leave is I need to have two places at once for a year, which I was planning on doing before COVID because I was okay then financially. Well, now I got to work it out to get a place maybe in Asbury Park and try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know if I moved, to picture me being there for a month, I'm like, this is so great. I could just get in my car and go. And, there's just, I don't know, it's this and that. And then,
You're reminding me. Wait,
weeks later, you would just be like,
wait,
what have I done?
Juskow, that's a great story. But you know what you're reminding me of? You're reminding me of when I left school in Highland Park. And I remember it was my last day. And all my best friends didn't talk to me because I think they were going to miss me so much. Is that what's going on right now?
No, not in the least. No, if you had let me finish, I think you would have understood.
Huh?
Nothing, forget it.
He's hurting, Evelyn. I could see it.
He's hurting. He feels misunderstood. It's okay, Dave.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Yeah. See, there we see a little bit.
Yeah, there it is. You saw it? Look at that. His tight lip, but I see it. We are going to miss you so much, Evelyn. There's a dynamic here between the three of us that is magical that I don't think, I think it's like I'm very organic in how I bring people together. I don't plan it. I'm very organic. Don't you dare roll your eyes. Look at, I made an effort of putting a pumpkin in the scene.
That's nice.
I know you know, Juskow was so easy. This is all you have to do to get him is be a little festive.
Yeah,
I do.
He loves festive stuff.
I know. I wish I could do that. I never think about that. It would be nice.
It's not.
I always want to. Every time I always think about going, it's pumpkin season. I'm going to go to a pumpkin patch. I'm going to get pumpkins. Then I'm like, what am I going to do with them? My mom lives right near an apple farm and a pumpkin patch, and we go strawberry picking, and I just never go. I get apple cider there, which is kind of great, but other than that, I just never go. I guess if we used to go with the kids when they were little.
Yeah.
And then never really have anybody to go with.
Oh, there's so much you can do with, like, you can make a pie. You can make a pumpkin pie.
I'm not going to do that.
My niece, this week, she painted her pumpkin. It looks gorgeous. Like, kids are really good at practicing their skills.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Look at that. I made that up. What I
said. It's true though. Like it's good for kids to practice their motor skills.
They do, and I couldn't believe. I was like, "You made this pumpkin? Here she is."
Oh,
look at the little pumpkin.
Oh,
she's black.
Yeah, I'm black. What are you talking about?
Oh, I forget sometimes.
Look how cute she is.
She is really cute.
Is she adorable? When kids can be a kid, that's one of the things that kind of makes me tear up lately. I won't go into it. I'm not going to go into the politics of what's going on because it's raw.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I see my niece, I just go, oh, I get a little, sad because I just go, look at when kids can be kids.
I think it's also like for me, it's like there's so many cute fall activities for kids to do. Like like decorating pumpkins and going trick-or-treating and going on hay rides and things like that. It is like, I think it's very much peak, at least for like me being a young person, like peak baby fever, also peak appreciating how cute little kids are season.
Oh, someone wants to know what Juskow was like at that age. The same. He looked exactly the same. You see his hairline, and his gray hair and those eyebrows and that attitude. It was the same
No,
child.
full well I had a Jufro back then.
You had a Jufro? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I don't know whether can you see my phone? Oh yeah, let me show you.
Yeah.
I made this for the next semester for my class. See if I can find it. I think you will like it. Yeah. See if you can. That was my high school. That was my high school picture.
Oh my
That's a
God.
pretty good Photoshop.
Thank you.
You have dimples.
Well, I mean, it's just that hair is like hilarious. You know, I figure I put what I'm supposed to be the age they are, which they're clearly not in that picture, but I thought it was better than putting a picture of myself now in there, because then I guess it would be creepy. Well, everything I do is creepy, so it really doesn't matter.
Yes, you are creep-filled.
The kids take the class anyway. What am I going to do?
Can I ask you, like, did I do well on the football thing? I am curious. How did I do?
I don't
'Cause he-
remember.
every
I think you did okay.
Every week they do on the Seller show, he does a football
You pick like the top 5. Yeah.
top 5. I did okay. I didn't do
Yeah.
bad.
I don't think so. I mean, we all have been doing bad. Like, no, you know, one week I think I went 4-1, but mostly we usually get 2 right. It's so hard to do. That's why it's a joke when these people get paid money to tell you who's going to win. They don't know. Everybody's an idiot. You know, it's impossible to pick those things. That's why having you pick it, somebody who knows nothing, or my mother, who's in my football pool, you know, she wins sometimes, because knowing nothing is sometimes just better. And you can do the same knowing nothing. You know, Sarah wins the pool a lot. Silverman.
Oh, she does.
Know. But she has a system that she uses picking, which is hilarious. But, you know, everybody has their own system, and it either works or doesn't. It's just, you know, you're trying to predict the future, and nobody can do that.
So Glow Juskow.
Oh, So Glow, right. Doing Coming to America.
Yeah.
So get your soul. That guy, Eric LaSalle, was so goddamn brilliant in that. And I don't know why he didn't want to do the second one. He makes me laugh every time I see that one, especially that where he's just making that face to the camera when that girl's like, maybe we should get you out of these wet clothes. And he just turns the camera like this. He's so funny. He just didn't want to, he wanted to be taken serious. I don't know why people don't get how funny that movie is. You should be grateful.
Happy birthday, Sujay.
Oh, happy birthday.
Sunny lunch.
Birthday to go to the library.
Yeah, you're going to go to the library for your birthday?
Sure.
It is the most amazing Saturday. I mean, we've gone through 7 Saturdays in a row where it's just rain. And
I know, and it's
today
supposed to rain tomorrow.
was like a gift to us.
Yeah, no, I agree. At least we have today, and it's like 80 degrees today.
Yeah.
It is a little weird to like see pumpkins and like the fall colors changing and whatever, and it being really warm, because also yesterday was like in the 70s too. But like I just needed this today. It feels so good. Like after the stream, I think I'm gonna go for a walk in Prospect Park.
Yeah, that's good. You know, what's the hardest thing is to just go for a walk. Like I don't know. I used to walk every day of the week, Monday to Friday. I used to go and walk through Central Park around the reservoir, and I just don't do it anymore. And it's the most like on a day like today, the fall, to see the leaves changing. I mean, this is the best time of the year for me. Like this is to see like leaves like die like this in such a beautiful way.
You don't have to put it that way.
But
this is the best time of the year. This is my favorite time of the year. This is the best time to live in the East Coast, but especially, you know, even if you're going to live in New York City, if you're going to visit New York City, this is the time to come. after New Year's, just everything sucks. I mean, just sucks. It's depressing and just horrible, but it's so fun with Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas living here. I just would like to live here this time of the year and then move anywhere else.
I know
the
from
rest-
January to when.
Probably live in California or something, like LA. That had always been my plan from February 1st or January 1st to May 15th. You don't want to come back any earlier than May 15th. It's a joke that you think New York City's going to be okay by May 1st. You really got to go till May 15th until things get nicer again, where you can actually have a pleasant day outside. Besides, some random days, you might have a week in a row after May 15th. It takes that long.
But I'm also like, when it is nice weather, I'm also like scared because I'm like, this is also a sign of a problem.
Right, exactly. Like I try to just like enjoy it, but it's like, oh, it should not be this warm. It's nearly November.
Yeah, this is my theory that I've been sharing with everyone, but I don't think anyone cares, but I'll share it anyway. I think that the world is sick. The planet itself, right? The planet is sick and we are a reflection of the planet. So if we don't fix the planet, we're not going to fix ourselves. And I'm sticking to that. That was brilliantly said by Marina Franklin. Yeah.
Evelyn, your hair color looks amazing.
Is that what you're going to move to? You're going to move to a compliment?
Yeah, her hair color looks incredible.
Now he's ready. The only
thing you say.
Lighting. You see how it got lighter in her picture. You can see her hair color. It looks really good.
We are the cause, heck tech. Yes, we are. Yeah, your hair does look good though, Evelyn. Even though he's annoying me with that because he.
I know. I love that the only time he's going to say something good about me is when he wants to ignore what you just said.
Yes. It's almost like.
I was paying attention. I just noticed it because the lighting changed in your.
Yeah, the lighting.
Yeah,
the lighting is better now. Yeah,
that's
my natural.
That's how stunning it was. It caught me off guard. Sorry.
Thank you.
God, look at Eric. Talk about being negative. They still push people on the subway tracks on June 1st. I mean,
no, they don't. They actually take off that one day, but June 2nd, they're right back to it.
Today, because it was so nice, I went to the farmer's market. Got me some yuzu. Which is also incredible for white hair as well. This is what I found out in my live that I went on. The woman was like, here, I'll show you how I look kind of crazy, but you guys can talk amongst yourselves while I go to share it. But before I go to this share, I just want to remind you why we actually do this. We do this to promote the podcast, Friends Like Us, which Evelyn was a very big part of helping for 3 years,
something like that.
But she was amazing. She came in before the pandemic and she was just the young flower. And then like the pandemic hit and then we were all virtual. And, it was like one of those things where you're like, oh my goodness, I have this new employee and how do I make her job more productive? And let me tell you, she stepped in those shoes. She did a great job and we're going to miss you.
Oh, thank you.
So I just have to say that I am so excited to see everywhere you go. I know we're saying goodbye here, but I know it's not goodbye.
Right.
And, if you ever need any help, don't go to Juskow. Okay. Now I'm going to look for my Instagram while you guys talk.
That was a really good end cap for it. Are you doing anything fun for Halloween, Juskow?
Yeah, we'll go to this party tonight.
Do you have a costume?
Party. I always dress up as a secret security, a Secret Service person, because then I just have to wear a jacket and I have an earpiece that I put in, and that's my costume. It's easy, and that's what I like. I really don't like dressing up. I don't know why. You would think I would be the total person that would enjoy that a lot. So,
well, it's so much work.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of work, and I don't know. Maybe if I was in a couple or something, I would do it. I sent Marina a picture of who I'm working with today.
Okay, hold on. While you're talking, I'll show that in a second. I just want to go to the stream. And, speaking of costumes, I was invited to a party where you were to wear your fear, what you're paranoid of.
Oh wow.
And I couldn't think of one. And my friend, I got to give her
That's too
credit,
much.
Alana came up with a judge with like a Bible in their hand.
Oh
It's
wow.
the easiest costume you could do. Like you just get a graduation like
Yeah.
gown and either a hanger or a
Oh, man.
Bible, and there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I like those easy ones.
this is me at the farmer's market. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lily Mae just showed up. So I'm going to show you what you missed. So you could come back, Natalie. Okay, I see you. Hey, Jason and Doors. Is the lady you had on your show? Yes, it is the lady that I had on my show. I go, is it the lady you had on your show? Yes. Yes, Andrea. Yeah, here, I'm going to show you. So that I just want you to see her. This is all the soap. Say hi. The soap lady. Hello, Lily Mae.
Those
Say
soaps
hi to
look
your
incredible.
fans.
Hey everyone, how are you? I'm outside. It's a beautiful day today.
Yes.
Yes, beautiful.
Always a pleasure. Thank you. I love you.
Okay.
Stay safe.
You see, they
Yeah,
love
definitely. I will.
her.
Have a good one.
You see those
Always a
blocks
pleasure.
of
You see
soap?
that? She has that. Always a pleasure.
Southern hospitality.
Always a pleasure, Lily Mae. Now I'm gonna walk around so you guys can see. Now this is still New York, so I want to make sure my bags are where I can see them.
I'm gonna put both of them back.
Okay, thank you.
Look at those soaps.
So here, look at
They're
Lily
like works
Mae.
of art.
Look, there's a little at Lily Mae Aromas. You see that? Kathleen Fitness says, Lily Mae, always a pleasure. Yes, hello, Kathleen Fitness. Haven't seen you in a while.
Remember Kathleen Fitness during our live
You know,
comedy
there's
show?
not a lot to
Oh, wow,
smile
yeah, I
about
forgot
these
about
days, but I'll tell you what makes me smile.
Aromatherapy.
Aromatherapy. Look at this. Okay, we have coffee.
I want to eat that.
This is my Impemba. This is the one. This is the peppermint
That's not the peppermint.
with the eucalyptus. This is the only one you can mix with eucalyptus, right?
It's this one right here.
Oh,
This
oh, oh.
is eucalyptus and peppermint, antibacterial properties, anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antimicrobial. The best thing for the winter months.
Best thing for the winter
Clears
months.
out the olfactory, clears out mucus while you're in the shower.
Clears out mucus while you're in the shower. Do you hear that?
All right. So there you go. Clears out mucus in the shower. Go get you some Lily Mae soap, huh? All right, back to Juskow and his Halloween costume. What are you gonna be?
A Secret Service security guard.
Then you need me there. Because you really need to be like what we
Well, I
did
dressed
like
that exact right. What we did for Conan and Stephen Colbert. I dressed that exact way. Yeah.
yeah, because he was
Your
like
favorite
I'm
costume.
Whitney Houston and he's Kevin
Bodyguard. Yeah.
yeah, the bodyguard.
Well, it's funny. I always it looks good. The costume looks good. I got the glasses.
You're not going to offend anyone.
I don't think so, right?
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, who knows? I mean, they'd be like, you would defend the president as a Secret Service. I'm like, who knows? People think these days there's no way to win. But I'm pretty sure everybody's my age. I don't think they'll. I mean, maybe nobody's my age, so they're probably 20 years younger. But I don't know. It's just your generation.
Nobody's your
It's up with
age.
everything.
No one.
Nope, nobody. And I just keep meeting younger and younger. I keep meeting girls younger than Evelyn. And it's like I go to the coffee shop and I'm talking to this girl there and I tell her about the cellar or something. And she goes, oh, do they let people under 21? And I'm like, oh, come on. They're always under 21. My God. I was like, they're the manager. Oh, that's my coworker today.
Oh.
That's who
She's
you're with?
Yeah.
This is happening right now?
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Your
know.
coworker, you know what my dad once said when he saw my cat doing this? My dad goes, tell that cat needs a job.
you can't help thinking that when you see them so relaxed, and that's their job. Like,
Yeah.
she's just so comfortable. It's really nice in here. It's cozy.
What's
The
her
window's
name?
open. Yeah, she's really cool. I was gonna pick her up and put her in, but she doesn't like, I don't think, to be picked up.
Oh, you
But she hung
tried?
out with me all day.
Oh.
Oh, what's her name?
Squanch.
What?
Squanch?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it's from Rick and Morty, but I'm not positive.
That's so
Squanch?
Yeah. It was called Fiona, and then they changed it to Squanch. I don't know why.
They're saying
Yeah,
that you
the
killed the
extension
cat.
cord.
No,
No,
but Juskow
no.
would never.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the one thing he's good at is with cats. They're like, look at the. Oh, I see. Look at the extension cord. This is what they're saying. Like, save the cat. The cat looks like it's just about to put its finger in the socket.
It does.
That is true. Good point.
Well, now she's cuddled near the extension cord. I don't know whether you can.
So you may want to like take her away from that because sometimes they chew on.
No, it's
those
not
things.
plugged in. Can you see her?
Yeah.
No, not
From a
really.
distance.
Oh, sorry.
I have to like stop the share for you to show it. Go ahead.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's moving. Yeah. She must have heard
She
her
still
name.
loves that extension cord.
It looks really nice where you are. I'll say that.
Well, it's a beautiful day.
It looks peaceful there.
It's very peaceful today. Yeah, exactly. I mean, even when it rains tomorrow, I'll be in the same room and it'll be a different feeling. But that's why I decided to stay here this weekend. I was at the Williams Center on Friday, and I'll be there on Monday. So I figured, well, I'll just stay in Jersey, the whole weekend.
Smart.
That way, because a lot of times when I do stuff on Saturday night, since I work on the weekends, I have to, be somewhere at 5 a.m. to get ready for 8 o'clock. And this way I don't have to wake up so early. I don't know. I can't stand waking up early. It's a real problem. I mean, what I'm talking about, 5:30 in the morning. I can't.
Did you say what costume you're wearing, or were you saying?
I didn't. I didn't say what I'm. Well, someone Hector had asked what my plans are. I don't really have any. Halloween's kind of come up quickly on me this year. So yeah, honestly, I know it's kind of boring. I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything or like going out in costumes. But I think like I'm just gonna be watching. There's so many good Halloween movies that I think I'll probably just stay in and watch. I think tonight. My girlfriend and I are going to watch Hocus Pocus, which is a classic.
What about the second one?
I've only seen part of the second one. It was like fine.
Yeah, right. I was just wondering if you're going to watch Hocus Pocus, meaning you love the movie Hocus Pocus from 30 years ago. I was wondering if you saw the second one. That's all.
Yeah, I have seen the second one. It's like, oh yeah, like I don't know. I watched maybe like the first 30 minutes of it and like wasn't super into it.
That's what I heard. I mean, the odds of that being good. See, I was the only one that liked Coming to America 2. The only one.
I know a lot of people did not like it. Yeah,
I loved it, but I saw it twice. But the only, the only movie that actually was good, which I just saw 30 years later, Top Gun Maverick, wasn't horrible.
That's the one that came out like
happy
last
birthday.
Year.
What'd you say, Evelyn?
The Top Gun Maverick, is that the one that came out like last year? Or two
yeah,
ago?
yeah. That wasn't horrible. Although we were some of the dialogue is just ridiculous.
Okay.
I just got finished watching The Mermaid.
I haven't seen that.
Do you have the Disney Channel?
Do you mean The Little Mermaid?
The new one,
live action with the black
The
girl?
Little Mermaid. I haven't seen that yet, but I've heard it's really good.
Oh, she's really pretty.
She is really. My sister was kind of hating. I won't say which one.
Well, everybody's upset about the black Little Mermaid,
Well, not everyone.
No, but
well, we know
People in
who.
Juskow circles.
Those
No, that one doesn't bother me so much.
those honkies.
I was.
Those honkies be all upset.
I was upset with the black
Shut
Hermione.
up, honky.
The only time people get upset about when they change black is when they're unattractive. So the black Hermione in Harry Potter was very unattractive, and Hermione is very attractive. Yes, she was.
You mean in the play?
in the play.
Oh, I haven't seen
And there's no chemistry between her and Ron in the play, so it's just double jeopardy in that. But if she's good looking, no one cares. It's kind of funny. I think racism is all just about being unattractive.
Well,
I
the
don't know
whole
whether
thing.
anybody hates on Rihanna.
Well,
or
they
Beyonce.
try. They do try, but I will say the Dwayne Johnson thing with his recent debacle of the was it the wax museum in France or something?
Oh, I saw. Yeah, like it looks like more like Vin Diesel.
Yeah, and he
Mhm.
looks so white. And
Yeah, he
here's
looks
the thing,
white.
I've been saying it for years, is that he does not.
Really?
A lot of people don't know he's black because he doesn't like lead with that.
I didn't know he
Like,
was black. I thought he was like Samoan or something.
he's black.
I did not know that either.
I thought he was
Dwayne
Samoan,
Johnson.
too. We can. I mean, you could be both.
I don't know what he was.
Dwayne
I just
Johnson.
didn't care. I'm so done with him. It's just like he's in too much stuff.
Just wait till they try to recast Snow White. Oh, forget it.
They'll probably do that. I don't
Yeah, he's
care.
black and Samoan,
course,
but
that
we
Little
go
Mer-
with
that
black.
was
Yeah,
that-
yeah, he is.
How was the Little Mermaid live action? Was it good?
It was great. I mean, I liked it. I thought
Marina,
it was
by the
good.
way, you missed out on Sarah's party. Dan.
Oh, now you could talk about it?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Dan Stevens was there, and he's not
Is that the guy
attractive.
from Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
And yes, you do. You just don't know you do. He's cousin Matthew. He's also the Beast in Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson. And boy, is he good looking. I couldn't take my eyes off him. And he's in like a disguise in the sense he has like a beard and glasses. And I'm like, oh, you're not fooling me. You are handsome. God damn.
Dan Stevens.
And I was like, oh, sure, from Beauty and the Beast. He's like, well, I've done other stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. That just came out.
That's so funny.
Oh, wow. And you were just staring at him, huh?
How could you not?
Yeah, I don't really
You're
know
looking
this
at him,
guy
right?
like that well. Not really.
I don't know,
Yeah, I
DJ
really
Eric.
don't know.
I mean, sometimes I don't think I'm bi, but that guy was. I mean, you just have to. I mean, he's really good looking.
You just like looking at people.
I like
Mhm.
attractive people. I like
You
looking at
do.
attractive people. Why do you think I like? I love looking at Evelyn every day,
Every day.
every
Oh,
week.
Evelyn. He's letting you know something.
Yeah.
You better block him on your page because someone's stalking you.
But I was just thinking earlier when you're talking about whether or not you wanted to live in like New York and then like California the rest of the time, I was thinking, well, you could be bi-coastal and bisexual.
Yes, I suppose so.
I love that.
Yeah.
I did miss Sarah's party. I wanted to go, but I just couldn't afford the trip out. Who
Really?
else did you see at Sarah's party? Well,
Yeah, tell us.
Can you say or no?
No, I can say it's just that I didn't have as fun a time as we had the last time we were together because that was, I guess, because I don't know, wherever we were standing, everybody was coming up to me and Marina. So, and maybe just being with, who I did spend a lot of time with actually, who I'd never met before, would never hung out before, was Doug Stanhope, which was actually kind of
I
nice.
like
got to
Doug
see him.
Stanhope.
Yeah, he's kind of a living legend of comedy.
Do you know who that is, Evelyn? Doug
I do
Stanhope?
not. I've heard the name, but like I can't like conjure the face at the moment.
Oh, you got to look at, as a young comedian, look at some of his stuff. The first time I saw him live was in Kilkenny, Ireland.
Oh,
I did a festival for the Cats Laugh Festival there. And he is like there's David Tell
yeah.
and there's Doug Stanhope. Like he is authentic.
Meanwhile, Marina, this was the most amazing. And Evelyn, you'll like this.
Mhm.
The next day, just me and Sarah hung out with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we were just hanging out and just talking to he was telling some Borat stories and Bruno stories, which were great. And I had one from Vic that he had told me a long time ago. I'm gonna have to go for a second, but anyway, then he goes, "What are we gonna do about this Hamas stuff?" And he made Sarah text AOC and say, "Why are you being silent on this?" It was really cool the way they were using their status to get stuff done. And then Sasha called Bono and said, "Could you say something at your show in Vegas?" and we were going over what to say because we wanted him to say the Kaddish. But I was like, well, he's not going to remember all that Hebrew, let alone that guy hasn't done an unselfish thing in over 20 years. But I was kidding about that. And then it was great because the next day, I read it in the news that he said something and he said, I'll do it during In the Pride in the Name of Love. And then he did it. And it was exciting to be kind of a part of it.
Wow.
So that
I
was
didn't know that.
that was better than
Sasha
the party.
Baron.
That what?
I didn't know. I'd heard that Bono did that, but I didn't know it was because of Sasha Baron.
Oh yeah. It was all, I was there when it all, went down. It was really cool.
I was at Sacha Baron Cohen's house years ago in the and I met with one of his assistants. I didn't meet him, but it was like a huge house, and then there was like a little house outside where he has his office space. And I was like, I want to live like this. And it was in like the Hollywood Hills. It was like I remember getting a ride there from an Uber driver or something and thinking, if I had done this in a car, I would be crying right now.
Yeah.
Because those hills are like windy.
They're really scary.
It's terrifying.
Although for me, like the thought of like, I'm such like a New York City person, like the thought of driving anywhere is scary to me.
Yeah. Well, in New York City they say it is the worst place to drive.
Okay. Yeah.
Is New York City. And I agree. I'll drive anywhere else but New York. And I think Mumbai. I've seen those cows and I can't do it. I want to share also, since I didn't ask you for any reviews this week. Did you collect any? You didn't.
I did a few. Yeah, I
you
collected
did?
a few.
Oh,
yeah.
well, let's go to some reviews.
Yeah, let's do some reviews.
Here we go for the last review from Evelyn.
I know.
Where's the applause? Oh
yeah. Yeah, so this first review comes from Twitter, comes from our good friend at Sully Baseball, who said, Friends Like Us is an always great podcast, funny, challenging, and it never left us down. I thought was really nice. And then I grabbed this from Apple Podcasts, and as a reminder, if you have not left a review on Apple Podcasts, Friends Like Us, please do that. Leave 5 stars. It helps potential new listeners find the show. So this one comes from a sassy one who said, 5 stars. Friends Like Us is always funny and always truthful. Every episode is thought-provoking. Love you, Marina.
Aw, thank you.
So yeah, those are I collected one more. Okay. This one says, great podcast, 5 stars. Marina and her guests keep me informed and entertained. Marina hasn't had a Keisha moment in a while, but her Karen moments are just as funny. This podcast is just a feel-good podcast. Thanks, Marina.
I know the Keisha moment's been subdued.
Yeah.
From ASB 513, they want to know why you're leaving. I'm just tuning in. What I missed? Yeah, why exactly? You kind of set up top, but say it again for those who may be tuning on late.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been working with Marina in some capacity for like 3-ish years now, 3-4 years now. I did work with Friends Like Us podcast for like 2-3 years, and I've been doing the live for like 2-3 years. Yeah, it just feels like the right time. It feels like I'm entering this like new chapter of my life, and like Marina, you said earlier, like it's a goodbye for like this stream, but like I'm obviously like still friends with you and still friends with you, Juskow, as well. Yeah, I mean, I think a large part of it is that like I just want to like hone and focus in on like doing my own stand-up and writing, which like I've kind of been struggling to find the time to do that for myself over the last, like particularly the last year or so. So I think, yeah, like moving forward, I will probably be doing a lot of writing on Saturdays. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. But yeah, I am still friends with all of you, DJ Eric Prince and everyone else on here. And yeah, I think on the days when I'm not writing, I'll be really excited to tune in as a viewer, maybe make a guest appearance every now and then.
Yeah. And now, and let me tell you, Evelyn's got a lot of work to do. She's been, writing articles that are amazing and interviewing people. So she's busy.
I am busy. Yeah, it's also just like the struggle of like having like a full-time day job where I'm also writing and then finding the energy to like write comedy too. But yeah, I'm excited to take that on. It feels like a really good time. And yeah, like you said also, Marina, like it feels like the pandemic, like at least for like comedy has like never quite ended, or like just because, there was the strike and like the SAG strike is still happening. But yeah, it feels like, I don't know, like now that the WGA strike is over, like all these writers are getting back into writing. So like I should too.
Yeah. And we wish you nothing but the best luck. I know you're gonna do great things. I won't.
Thank you.
I see everything you're doing. You're doing everything the way you should. Each year you're progressing towards the next level. And I am proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And you've helped me with so much on the podcast. So I'm very grateful. So she's not saying goodbye. She'll see us.
No. Yeah, I'll be around.
Now, I want to show you from just about the podcast some episodes that we've had in the past few weeks. If you have not caught up, I think now is the time, because we've had some amazing guests like Sarah Cooper was on the show.
That coming, and all of a sudden, all the boxes got checked over. That's what it felt like. All the boxes got checked. I got my late night set. I sold 2 pilots. I think I've been sort of always trying to check a lot of boxes. And I think that really worked well. And sort of at Google, you're just trying to like you asked Erica what her goals are. And I was just thinking to myself, like, goals.
Mhm.
Like, do we have to have goals? Like, can't we just be doing it? And I think that's what I was doing. I was like, goal, 5-minute set, goal, get a late night set, goal, do this, do this, do this. And then when the pandemic hit, I couldn't perform for 2 people at Two Boots Pizza anymore because it was closed. So I was at home. And so then I was making stuff on the internet. And then that just completely changed my life, but I didn't really see that coming. And all of a sudden, all the boxes got checked over. That's what it felt like. All the boxes got checked. I got my late night set. I sold, 2 pilots.
So, and it's like when you think of like, what we talk about on that episode, and I think it's really important that you listen to the full episode, is what happens when you do end up checking all of those boxes overnight. How do you maintain it, right?
Yeah.
Especially if, let's just say, you're not ready. I'm not saying she's not ready, but let's just say you're not ready for all aspects of what they're asking you to do in Hollywood. And she gives a pretty good answer on that show. So I would say definitely check it out. There's another episode that we have this week that's out right now with Aparna Nancherla, who I love. Every time she's on the podcast, I just love watching her work. And she's got a book out. They both do.
Yeah.
Sarah has a book out called Foolish, and Aparna has a book out called something narrative. You have to go to the podcast to find out. But I wanted to share her as well because I just think here we go. She talks about the imposter syndrome. Here we go.
I'm just saying, I kind of pause and check myself and be like, wait, why is this the case? Like, I kind of thought once I checked off X, Y, and Z, like I would be more confident or like feel, more deserving of success or something. But it felt like the opposite was happening. So I think that made me want to kind of investigate it more. But I had been lucky enough where people had approached me before about like, have you ever thought about writing a book? So it kind of felt like maybe the interest was there of me writing a book. And then I just had a certain thing I was fascinated by at the time to want to explore it more. Like it had been something I'd been struggling with from the beginning of my career, but then it almost felt like the more success or
So, there you
opportunities
go.
I got, the worse the self-doubt got. So I think that made me want to kind of, like Alvin was saying,
Have you ever experienced that? The imposter syndrome is something that is a term that comes up a lot lately.
Yeah.
So, Evelyn, do you ever
Yeah.
experience that?
I think so. I mean, I feel like I am like really fortunate in that I had like I mean, I had all really great teachers throughout my life, but like in high school, I did like marching band, and my like band teacher was like I was really close with him, and he was like really like important for me, and like one of the best pieces of advice that he ever like gave to me was really just fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And like that has like helped me so much throughout my life. And to like hear that from the time I was like, 15 or 16, just to like, even if you don't feel like you deserve something, or you don't feel like you belong in a certain place, just like putting on the guise of being confident until like you actually do feel that way, is like I mean, it works for me. Like it's really helpful. So yeah, I definitely do feel imposter syndrome. I think it's interesting, like working as like a writer at a publication that's like also attached to like a partner publication of ours is like actually like a news wire. So I work with like a lot of journalists, and it's like funny, like in my job, because I work with like journalists, I do some of that work too, but I feel like I don't really belong anyway. So I do feel that sometimes.
Yeah.
And I also do definitely feel that in the context of comedy, but the way that I combat it and have always combated it is just putting on this air of like, no, like I actually do belong here. And until, even if I don't really feel that way on the inside, it eventually, the way that I act, being confident, then makes me feel confident internally.
Yeah, I love that because it's interesting to hear it from Aparna, who I've always thought was in fully control. Like I told her as a younger comedian, I used to look at her and go, I'm so like, I'm learning from you as a younger comic.
Yeah.
She seemed to really have it together, have an awareness, and know what she wanted. And she said, yeah, it appears that way. But the same thing with Sarah Cooper. She was checking all these boxes, but there was that moment of like, am I, that imposter syndrome creeps in of like, do I deserve this? Should I be here? Am I good? That all comes in when at the moment when you're receiving. Now, the interesting thing is I have two women on the show coming up this week from Verb. Yeah. Now, you know a Verb, right? The younger generation knows more about Verb as far as like branding and marketing than I ever knew.
Yeah, I actually like, I don't specifically know what they do, but like I've definitely like seen it on my social media and like heard about them.
Yeah, they're like a marketing brand. They do like they pair up with like Airbnb, and they're both black women,
wow. Yeah.
friends. They found their own company. They gave them, well, I'm not going to give too much away, but they are very successful in it. They did the Airbnb Barbie house.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, like I didn't even know you could do that.
No, I didn't either. And that's really cool.
I didn't know you could go to an Airbnb house and it's like Barbie's house.
I would 100% stay there.
100% would I do that. But it's also for marketing. They marketed that alongside with the movie. So they work with Netflix. They work with all types of they work with Lyft. They invited me to their Halloween party. That was the one where I had to wear the paranoia, but I couldn't go because I couldn't find a graduation outfit. So. But I will say, like, this episode that's coming up, you got to listen to it. These women talk about how they never had the imposter syndrome, specifically because they, as Black entrepreneurs, they always had to overly compensate, or they were beyond ready, or it took them a while to be believed in the ability that they already had. So, but I think imposter syndrome is a little bit more complex than that. And from what Aparna was talking about, imposter syndrome is linked to like also mental stuff. It's
Yeah,
like it's
for
a
sure.
real mental disorder. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take away from that by mentioning them, but I think that is what's so interesting about the last 3 episodes. If you are not listening to Friends Like Us, what are you doing? It's going to help you. There's so many tidbits in there that I learned from. I have a board now on my right that has like what I want because of the last few episodes I've listened to. And I'm just the host and I'm learning from them. So, hey, it's called passive learning.
That's so cool.
Do it for yourself. Now, Juskow, did you learn anything in that? Did you passively learn anything at all?
The only thing I could relate to was the imposter syndrome, since that was definitely something I was feeling when I first started teaching.
Really?
Absolutely. And I was like, they know I'm an imposter.
They
Well,
know you're not a teacher.
No matter who you are, that first class, even if you're a Harvard professor of some sort, that first class, the first time you teach, I don't know anybody that would feel differently. I mean, unless you're an asshole, I guess, which I guess they have teachers like that. But you're going to be like, I'm not a teacher. I've never done this before. They're going to know.
Right.
So yeah, everybody. I think that's the perfect profession for that. Comedy for sure. But those kind of things where you're standing up in front of people are going to, mess up your head for a little bit until you get it right.
Oh, that's such a good point. I'm so glad you brought that up because not to make it about me again, but I always tend to do that. But the thing is I did have that in teaching in Syracuse when I taught the intro to acting. I should never have been given that job. I was like, I had a scarf wrapped around my neck like an idiot. Like I was I was impersonating like some artistic French theater person. I would look at them and I go, I really don't know what your moment before is, and I don't know if you're actually connected to the scene. And a lot of times I had been half listening. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, why did they give me this job?
No, it's better to be older teaching younger kids. If you're peers, it's really awkward.
I almost had Louis Gossett Jr.'s son.
So you were a teacher's assistant.
No, it was intro. What they did was, and I don't know if they did it right. They don't even offer the course anymore in Syracuse. I don't think they have a graduate program anymore. But what they did with their graduate program, in order for you to pay for some of your school, was they offered you these internship, or what do you call it? TA, whatever. It wasn't a teaching assistant because you were actually in charge of the class. No one was in there. It was just you. I had a syllabi, right? And then I had to check. All you had to do in my class was show up. Okay, that's it. I told them, I said, listen, you just got to show up, and show up in the right way. And I had Peter Yorn, who was a musician. He was one of my
Pete
students. Yeah, I had him as a student, and he never showed up.
Oh,
well. And he was the only one. I don't know if I'm legally supposed to say this, but I couldn't give him a decent grade because I'm like, dude, that really is the easiest thing. But I know you got to go to MTV Awards. But all you got to do is show up.
I get to head out. Okay, I'm sorry.
No one cares.
Oh, okay. See you.
Bye,
nice to see you, Evelyn.
Bye.
Congratulations on your tenure here.
Thank you.
Bye, Juskow.
Good luck in the future, and now's a good time to be working at the Reductress, I suppose. Some good articles. Let's help our people.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye, Juskow. Get out of here. What's taking you so long? Beat it. All right. So he's out of here, and we are too. Actually, it's 4:00 on the dot.
Yes.
Evelyn, thank you so much. It's sad to see you go, but I'm excited for everything that you will be doing. So,
oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been such a pleasure, being a part of Friends Like Us, and I've learned so much from you, and from the podcast itself too. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to like go off and do my own writing if it were not like for working with you. So thank you.
Aw. And tell our listeners where they can continue to follow you.
Yeah, you can always find me on social media at Evelyn G. Frick on Twitter, at efricks_ on Instagram. And there's my website, evelynfrick.com. So yeah, I'll be around.
She'll be around. So she's not saying goodbye. She's just saying we'll see you soon. And Marina Franklin, you can always go to my website, but more importantly, make sure you check out the podcast. It is here. I'm going to put the link in the chat so you don't miss this week's episode or last week's or the week before, because you got to catch it. Sarah Cooper, Aparna Nancherla, and this week, the 2 co-founders of Verb. I mean, we are killing it. And then coming up, we got Prachi Gupta. Come on. It's gonna be amazing. So don't miss it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to still wash your hands. You can wear a mask still if you want to, because it ain't gone. And Black Lives Matter. Thank you all so much. Bye.
Bye.
Let's give ourselves. I love that one.
It's so funny.
Bye, everybody.